preseason game of the CWHL, and it's a big one as the Brampton Thunder gets set to take on the Calgary Inferno here inside Memorial Arena, live from Brampton, Ontario. I'm Nico Cardarelli. Darren Alley right beside me up here in the booth. Darren, it's going to be a barn burner tonight, especially after last night. This essentially becomes a best-of-7 series now.
Well, a 3-2 victory for Brampton last night over the same Inferno gives them a 1-point lead in the CWHL standings. A win today in either overtime, shootout, or regulation gives the Thunder home ice advantage in the upcoming CWHL playoffs. However, Calgary, with a win, even if it's in an overtime or the shootout, they have all the tiebreakers over the Thunder. So they will get home ice should they win any way possible today.
Darren summed it up perfectly. That's what's at stake here in this game as we get a look at the Brampton starting lineup. Erica Howe between the pipes, no surprise there. And there's Jess Jones, player to watch in this game, one of many snipers on that Brampton team. But it'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Rebecca Vint, number 12 in black. She's put up MVP type of numbers down the second half of the stretch here in the season, on a 10-game point streak coming into this one, where she's posted up 17 points over that stretch.
Well, it's numbers that rivals her with players in this league that you would never expect to put her in the conversation with, like Poulin and Batez and Spooner. She has more goals than Natalie Spooner does this year. She is tied for second with Batez, behind only Poulin in goals this year. 18 goals on the season for them.
Home ice advantage in the playoffs about to be determined as we get you set for the opening face-off here between the Brampton Thunder and the Calgary Inferno. You're watching on CWHLlive.com. Important as the stakes are on the ice, there's some interesting aspects in terms of the way this game will be viewed on the ice, as well as for the first time in a professional game we'll have players with cameras strapped to their helmets to give that on-ice perspective. It should be quite an interesting experiment here.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see the view for us and the fans as well, what the players actually look like on the ice with the helmets on the cameras, and the view of the cameras themselves. It's going to be an interesting game to watch in that perspective as well.
You can almost cut the tension with the knife, eh? It's just so... I think everyone knows what's at stake here. It's a big game.
Both teams have this nervous energy to them that I've noticed.
I mean, the way they were warming up,
yeah,
you know?
Just intensity.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see it on all the ladies' faces, the focus, little Brampton, a few more smiles maybe than Calgary.
Well, after the win last night, who's surprised about that, right? And you mentioned earlier Haley Wickenheiser skating around the ice in warm-up, absolutely flying. I noticed the same thing, and she looked like she was on a mission this evening.
We're going to step away for the playing of O Canada and then get you set for the opening face-off. Brampton Thunder, the Calgary Inferno. We've got puck drop coming up here on CWHLlive.com. Darren, let's get a look at the starting goaltenders in this one, and we'll start with the Calgary Inferno and Delaney Bryan.
Well, Delaney Bryan this year, 19 games played. She's got a record of 11-5-1 on the year, a 2.86 goals against average, and a rather lackluster 893 save percentage. Not the number she'd like to put up, and you know she's gonna have to perform a little bit better than that today if they want home ice advantage. On the other night, it's Erica Howe in goal for the Thunder. 16 games played, a record of 9-4-0-1, goals against average of 2.52, and a save percentage, a great season for Howe, a save percentage of .920. Splitting the season mostly with Liz Knox, who is not available for today's game, and both goalies putting up fantastic numbers for Brampton. A real asset for them throughout this season.
Yeah, the loss of Knox heading into the postseason is it's a tough one for Brampton to overcome. Jamie Miller will be taking up the backup duties for now, but obviously Howe, the anchor between the pipes there, and she'll be relied on the rest of the way as we get set to determine which team will host in the postseason. It's a battle for home ice advantage here as we get you set for puck drop inside Memorial Arena. Folks, we want to remind you to get in on the action through Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram throughout this afternoon's game with the hashtag CWHLLive. We'll be sure to get to a few of your tweets and messages throughout the duration of this game. But for now, let's get you set for puck drop as it's the Brampton Thunder taking on the Calgary Inferno on CWHLlive.com. I'm Nico Cardarelli, Darren Alley up here in the booth, Steve Mitchell leading the way for our technical crew, and it's the Calgary Inferno with some early pressure, and early shots steered away by Howe, and now Brampton clear the pressure. As player to watch for in this one, Rebecca Johnston had that puck just go over her stick, and that'll be icing here against the Inferno just 24 seconds into this one.
And now you'll notice on this Brampton top line, it's Rebecca Vince centering Jones and Rattray with Candace Stiles out. It's amazing how much firepower this team has when one of your secondary players has the most goals on their team. A player who's been on your second line most of the season.
Quick change of lines there for Tyler Fines and the Thunder, as there's a thundering shot from McParland that got blocked over top of the net. Good D from Pierre as she labels McParland with a hit, but now McParland tries to center it, bouncing puck behind the net, and King can't corral that one. Good pressure from both teams early on, digging it out. Richards to the point for Burchard. Fertino lets a shot go. That one looking for the redirection, but nothing doing. Burchard can't come up with it. Now she does. Far side, down low to King. Centers it. McParland has it skip away from her stick as Crom chases after it. Crom gets on it here for Calgary. It'll be Pierre leading the breakout. She corrals the puck. Good tape-to-tape pass. Hits that one over to Jenner, and then she'll just dump it in to get some fresh legs out there.
And a great shift from Brampton's second unit there, forcing Calgary to do nothing but dump the puck out and change, essentially.
Campbell took a bit of a spill on her own, and she was the player for Calgary coming out in the pregame who also took a bit of a tumble, so maybe her blades need a bit of a sharpening or something, but she doesn't quite seem to have her footing early on yet. Now Calgary dump it in, Seed House there for Brampton. Nice play by Sarah Davis, but she can't come up with this puck yet. Now she gets to it. Campbell there as well. Seed House to the point, kept in by Webster. Her shot deflected, goes just wide of the cage. Mickelson can't hold the line initially, and now Seed House pressured by Wickenheiser. She'll have to ice that one down, and that will be icing against Brampton.
Good pressure by Wickenheiser to force the icing from Seed House. That's one where you really got to get the red line there before you dump the puck.
Yeah, she was being chased down by Mickelson on one side and Wickenheiser on the other, and that's a formidable combo to go against, so you can understand why Seed House felt the pressure. Off the draw, Lovell, who leads the Inferno in points this season with another good opportunity, but Howe makes a solid save.
Lovell, as you mentioned, leading the team in points, 14 goals, 12 assists for 26 points this year. What a good season for her.
Calgary off the draw, back to the point. There's a shot. Hits a couple bodies as Turnbull was there. Now Wickenheiser on it. Gets it to Turnbull. She shields it with the backhand. Fans on that attempt, but scooping it up off the point was Laquette. Down low for Wickenheiser. Rattray, she's under pressure, can't clear the zone. Laquette holds it in. Now it's over to Rattray again. Reaches, Jess Jones. Big shot, better save. Good paddle save by Brian. Jones under pressure there. Pierre, the lone defender back, impeded the shot just a little bit, but best chance of the game so far as Turnbull drives one right on. Larocque first on it for Brampton. Brampton's captain leads the breakout, endures a bit of a slash and then dumps it in. Crom, nice job to make up for a bit of a broken down play. Sarah Davis tries to feed it through as she was looking for Louise Warren. There's a shot from Crom, but she couldn't get that one on net, and then good job as McIntosh and the Thunder get it down the length of the ice, and no icing charge there either. There's a turnover right to McIntosh. Great save by Brian. Darren, she pushed out, challenged the shooter, and that's confident goaltending from Delaney Bryan.
And just as I was going to mention Jackie Pierre's nice play on that Jess Jones opportunity to impede that shot, she gives it away right in the slot to McIntosh. Not a good defensive play, and a little bit shaky here so far from the Inferno in their own zone.
Off the face-off, McParland scrambles forward in the scrum, and now it's Mickelson who will corral the puck. Off the boards, picked up by Jenner. She's got room to skate. Well, she's checked closely. Delayed offside. They're going to call it against Calgary when Brampton had the breakout. Burchard not happy as she had sprung McIntosh, but ultimately the officials will blow this one down and we'll have a face-off. Calgary, I think, maybe realizing they caught a little bit of a break. They're just wanting to get this puck dropped.
And you can hear from below us, Coach Fines is not happy with that call. You can hear the official saying that if they can't hear me, I have to blow it. Essentially saying Calgary did not know they were offside, so she had to blow the whistle.
Well, we'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt as McIntosh makes a good play. Richards backhands it towards the goal. Quick whistle that time. Brian got turned around a little bit, but ultimately she holds the puck for the face-off as, again, these teams going head-to-head, applying pressure early on here.
And again, it's the second unit of Richards, McIntosh, and McParland for Brampton getting a chance. They have looked fast and very good offensively so far this afternoon.
Sarah Davis on the draw for Calgary. Laquette comes up with it, and now it's on the stick of Cudmore. Backhands it to Campbell, off the shin pads of Davis, and she'll get it inside the Brampton zone. Davis on the forecheck. Nothing doing on that breakout from Calgary. They got it deep, but then couldn't regain the puck possession as Seedhouse puts a shot right on. Good shot from Brampton. You're seeing a little bit of a difference in the strategy between these two teams right now, Darren. Brampton just want to get some shots on goal, drive it towards the net. Quality opportunities, obviously, if they can, as the offside called here against the Thunder, whereas Calgary seem to be looking for a little more puck possession setup plays.
They're looking for the perfect opportunity,
yeah.
And I don't think that's going to work in a game like today. It's a game that's going to come down to the goalies, and if you're getting more shots on goal, you've got a better chance to score.
We'll see which strategy prevails early on here as we've played just under 5 minutes of this first period. Calgary will dump that one in. No icing, waved off. Howe had her hand up. I don't think she realized as Turnbull nearly creates a turnover. But here comes Burchard, room to skate, drops it to Jones. She's checked closely, puts it towards the net, but never made it on goal. Calgary feeling some heat here as Rattray chases after it. Wickenheiser, no look backhand pass, but gets it to Turnbull. Turnbull under pressure, nice saucer play right to the stick of Lovell. From distance, she'll just stump it in. Oh, off the side of the goal, but all confident positioning from Erica Howe. She had her skate right up against the post.
Another difference I've noticed here as Brampton ices the puck is the forecheck for the Thunder has been on point so far this afternoon, whereas you're looking at Calgary, they're not putting a whole lot of pressure on the Brampton defense. And anytime they have, Brampton's had very little issue peeling off of them and getting the puck out either way.
Off the draw, Calgary, Mickelson, corral it, backhanded into the corner. Nice play, good one-time attempt, but not much on the shot itself. Jenner with the pass in front. Howe made the save on the point-blank shot. I think that was Johnston positioned right in front for Calgary. The Inferno dump it in. Saulnier first on it. She's had a great season for the Inferno as well. But it's Jenner digging it out of the corner until it comes over to McParland. She feels some heat, gives it away to Lequette. Lequette brings it right back in. Far side hash marks, centers it, but nothing there in terms of a tip. Calgary creating some chances of their own now. King, oh, she got a bit of a hip check there. Taken down, no call. Play continues on. Icing indicated, icing the call. 13:45 left in a scoreless first period between Brampton and Calgary.
We've already mentioned Calgary looking for the perfect opportunity. It's easier to defend that. You saw in that last shift, Calgary got the puck right in front of the net to one of their players, but Brampton was defending it perfectly. Got a stick on stick, puck rolls off to the side of the goal, and there's no scoring opportunity.
Well, as long as Brampton continues to defend to that extent, then, as Darren mentioned, they should be able to negate those Calgary attacks. Brampton trying to create some offense of their own. Now it's dumped down, so they'll have to start it up again here as LaRock leads the breakout. Pass attempt broken up. Calgary back the other way as Warren slashes after it. Edney can't. Well, she does get it out to center ice. Nice play by Edney. Dumped right back in by the Inferno. Edney under pressure from Warren. Warren impedes that attempt, but Rattray digs it out. Right back to Rattray as Montgomery got it to her. Rattray checks her options. That's a shot goal. Big rebound, and she scores! Jamie Lee Rattray continues to have a red-hot stick. She makes it 1-0. Give her 4 points over this weekend series, as we've still got tons of time left in this one.
And Rattray there with just a fantastic individual effort, going to the net, getting a shot, and then picking up her own rebound, depositing it into the back of the net behind Bryan. Look at her cuts in the middle of the ice, finds her own rebound, empty net for her on that side of the goal, and she makes no mistake, and it's 1-0 Thunder.
Great opening goal for the Brampton Thunder, and Jamie Lee Rattray, she centers it in front, and they make it 2! Well, it was Rattray digging it out of the corner, and I believe it was Vint who taps it home. And before we can even get an official announcement on the first one, the Brampton Thunder make it 2-0.
So through the pandemonium, I heard it was Montgomery and Edney with the assists on the first goal. We'll have to get an announcement on that one, as Brampton quickly makes it 2-0 here.
I got to think Rattray will get the initial assist. And happy birthday to Fielding Montgomery as she gets an assist on the opening goal. Vint continues with her point streak, make it 11 games. Wow, she gets stood up behind the goal. And this is going to be a penalty against Calgary. So Brampton already up 2-0. Passed in front to Jones, but she couldn't corral it as she's checked by Wickenheiser. Finally, Calgary touch it, and it's going to be gut check time early on for the Inferno. Down 2-0. They're going to be heading to the box here. Haley Wickenheiser, interference, the call.
What a start to this game for the Thunder. We talked about them getting more opportunities, getting more pucks on net early in this game, and this is what happens. They end up breaking down the Calgary defense twice in about 10 seconds, and it's quickly 2-0, and now they've got a power play. Calgary's in real trouble here.
Off the draw, Richards put it towards the goal. McParland will corral it far side. McParland at the hash marks, checks her options, checked by Cudmore. Back to the point where Johnston was right on top of Edney, and that's why Brampton are out in the neutral zone. But LaRock gains the zone once again, makes the pass to McParland. McParland corrals the puck, good job to hold it there. Now to Edney, who plays it down low to Richards. Far side, nice play by Edney to hold the line. $1:30 left in the power play. Nice job by McIntosh, spins it down low to Richards. McIntosh couldn't get it past Jenner that time, and the Inferno vet gets it over to Johnston, short-handed. Rebecca Johnston feels some pressure and will spin away. Good veteran play by Johnston just to get some time off the PK there. LaRock. Over to Edney. This is still the power play unit that started, or at least the blue line was, as Rattray, Jones, and Vint now out there, and that's a great play by Vint to use her glove to hold the line. Jones with the one-timer, big rebound, important save there by Bryan. Now she did give up another big rebound though, Darren, and that's got to be a little concerning. As Fortino gains the zone. Mickelson, good play to tip it to Turnbull, but then she turns it over. Jones, Rattray, back to the point for Fortino. 30 seconds left in the power play. Burchard over to Fortino near side. Back to Burchard. She thought about the shot, makes the pass instead. Vint from her knees with a great attempt to make the backhanded pass, but that's picked off by Mickelson and cleared at least temporarily. As the physicality in this one certainly stepping up. Pierre getting a good hit on Jones. Here comes Jenner. 8 seconds left in the Brampton power play. Jenner tried the dipsy doodle, but that's textbook D from Laura Fortino. Seedhouse brings it in deep. Power play now over, but great pressure from Brampton. Although, Darren, they really only generated maybe 1-2 shots on goal.
Well, that's a big kill for the Inferno there. They really needed to get that one out of the way without allowing it to go to 3-0 here. Trying to get a little bit of the momentum back, but it's really this game's gonna belong to Delaney Bryan. To be perfectly honest, she's looked nervous in goal today, and she's going to really have to pick it up and allow her team a chance to get back into this one.
Saulnier trying to create some offense for the Inferno, but stripped away from her, and here comes Edney. You know, it's interesting you make that point about Bryan. We were talking pregame, and you were saying, you know, I think it's going to be an important game for Erica Howe. I didn't disagree, but I made the counterpoint. That's funny. I think it's going to be a more important game for Delaney Bryan. And so far, it's Bryan who seemed a little more shaky. But there's a shot off the stick of Crom, off a Brampton player, and out of place. So that'll keep the face-off inside the Thunder blue line.
Not to take away anything from the way the Thunder have played. Calgary's defense has broken down a couple times today as well already. But Bryan's got to be better. She really does.
The second one, well, you know, it'll be interesting to get another look at it later on, but in the moment, seemed like a little bit of a soft goal. Gomel scrambled. She's usually so strong on covering that lower part of the goal. She just almost seemed to allow that puck to get pushed by her, whereas there's a solid, good down-low save from Erica Howe.
And that's the difference right there. Even on the first goal, the Rattray goal, the massive rebound. The goal itself she had no chance on, but the rebound is what caused that goal.
And you know what? I feel for Bryan on the first goal, because the way Montgomery's cutting to the net, the pass option was there the whole time. Rattray played that absolutely perfectly, like waiting to take the shot, using that momentum that Montgomery had. There's a great shot off the face-off, but a good pad save by Howe. I just thought it was a really well-executed play by Rattray, and I don't think you can fault Bryan much for the first goal. But you're right, defense has broken down for Calgary a little bit here as they trail 2-0. They try to get some gains back, but a great block shot as Burchard gets down low to put her body on the line there. Turnbull in a foot race. She gets to it first ahead of McIntosh. Turnbull. Cudmore one-timer. Great kick save by Howe. Esposito got hit there. Campbell comes up with it now. Hash marks, drops it for Cudmore. Cudmore plays it down low. Turnbull, check closely. Turnbull lets a shot go that was never even close to catching the net. Wickenheiser back to the point. Pierre drives it on goal, but Erica Howe sees through a crowd and makes another good save.
And to me, so far, the defense for Brampton is making a huge difference. You see Burchard getting in front of that shot there. You've seen Fortino make a couple nice stick plays as well in her own end, getting in front of the Calgary opportunities as opposed to staying behind the play. Good work from them so far, and that's going to be a big difference if they can continue to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Not only getting in front of the shot attempts, but the way they're limiting Calgary to the outside of the zone. They're really not allowing much penetration into the high-quality areas, and it's limiting the type of chances they're getting. Well, the Inferno try another breakout here. They turn it over in their own zone temporarily, at least. Now Lovell comes up with it. Sarah Davis rubbed off the puck. Jones keeps it in the zone for now. Lovell drops it for Pierre. She'll sauce that one over to Davis, but a little too hot, and now it's on the stick of LaRock. Jones tries to step around Pierre, but good defense there from the Calgary vet. As we should mention, Calgary doing a great job with all their off-ice work as well. There's a great initiative they have as Seedhouse brings that one towards the net, but her shot attempt was blocked as the Do It For Darren jersey auction is still going on. Make sure you head over to the Calgary Inferno website where you still have an opportunity to bid as Webster lets that shot from the point go. You can hear the power on that one as it smacks up against the end boards. You can bid on a jersey, one of those beautiful purple jerseys that's been signed by the entire Inferno roster. As King puts it right on goal, Bryan makes the save. Yeah, that includes the signature of Delaney Bryan and all of her Calgary teammates, so make sure you check that out. As Calgary doing a great job, now they try to create some offense. Lequette, bouncing puck. Howe closes the wickets, and tough play for Lequette. She really couldn't corral that rolling puck there.
And Howe, though, standing tall in goal again, following the play perfectly. Nice positioning there, and she's looked good, and she's winning the goaltending battle right now, that's for sure.
Off the draw, the Inferno battle for the puck. McParland can't get it out of the zone. Saulnier, one-time pass in front, but Johnston puts it wide of the goal. Well, nice quick passing from the Inferno is there. They just go offside. The chemistry certainly there between Jenner, Lovell, and Johnston, but it just hasn't turned into goals quite yet.
Well, they're starting to get a little bit more pressure in the Brampton zone. They've been a little bit better offensively. They're getting pucks out quickly in their own zone, so they're starting to pick up some momentum here. But the fact of the matter is they really haven't gotten any good scoring chances.
Yeah, the quality of chances, no question about it. Brampton, ultimately dominating in that department. And it shows in their 2-0 lead as we still have 6 minutes remaining here in the first period as Cudmore makes a good job to hold it against the end board. She plays it over to Lequette, but fielding Montgomery with some aggressive forechecking, centers it. Oh, what a goal! McParland, top shelf. It's 3-0 Brampton. Well, Darren, some assists are just nondescript, and some are spectacular. And that was a spectacular setup by Fielding Montgomery. Let's get another look at this one.
And you see McParland sort of creeping in there through the slot, and the pass comes in. Oh, wow. You gotta feel for Bryan on that one. She's all alone there. McParland with nobody in front of her. The puck on her stick, but what a pass by Montgomery.
And we've got a goaltending change for the Inferno as Kathy Desjardins will take over here. Delaney Bryan giving up 3 goals as we still have 5:46 remaining in this first period. But as Darren mentioned, you certainly can't fault the goaltender on that one. The defense nowhere to be found. Calgary looking for a quick response, but ultimately, it's 3-0 right now for the Brampton Thunder. Icing here against Brampton.
I do have to bring up the last time these two teams played, other than yesterday, of course, the 8-7 shootout victory for Brampton. Calgary was up 5-1 at the beginning of the second period in that game. Between these two teams, all bets are off. Anything can happen, and it's been proven that a 3-goal lead is, akin to nothing.
Well, I mean, these teams match up so incredibly closely that, I mean, you're right. A 3-goal lead might seem insurmountable at times, but both of these teams are capable of putting up a 3 spot in a period. So, with 5:23 still left in the first period, this game is far from over.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Brampton would be fooling themselves if they think this game is over.
And having played a couple of games like this season, I don't think they're going to be. This is a different kind of game than that one was. This game has more meaning to it for both teams. Just to put in perspective how much meaning that this game has, this is the 6th time they played each other. The 4th time in Brampton. Brampton has won every game in Brampton thus far. Calgary winning both games in Calgary.
That speaks to the importance of home ice advantage in the playoffs as well.
You don't, if you're Brampton, you don't want to have to go to Calgary. And if you're Calgary, you really don't want to have to come back here next weekend.
A little bit of debate here or at least discussion between the officials as play resumes here, and the teams, at least the coaches on the benches. 5:15 now left in the first period as it's a 3-0 lead for the Brampton Thunder over the Calgary Inferno, as you're watching on CWHLlive.com. Campbell bringing the puck in now for Calgary. She tees it up. Not sure Howe saw that one because she was a little slow to react, but fortunately for the Brampton goaltender, it screeches wide of the cage. Oh, nice toe drag by Esposito. She's actually been on a real cold streak lately for Calgary, putting up goose eggs over her last 4 games, but that was an encouraging chance there for 7. As Esposito has it on her stick again. Gets it over to Campbell. She'll just fan on the initial dump in, now gets it deep. Brampton quickly on it though. LaRock skies it off the glass. Over to Lequette, near side to Lovell. McParland overskates that one, but now it's over to McIntosh. Gets it to Richards. Richards right from the face-off dot, and there's a first save for Desjardins, who comes in a real tough spot. Lovell scoops up that puck. Cudmore near side to Wickenheiser. Back to Cudmore. Plays it down low, gives it away to Fortino. McParland directly below us, and she'll just scoop it far side to Mickelson. Calgary, good touch pass to Wickenheiser. Tries to drive it towards the net, but good back check by Becca King. She got a stick on that one. Johnston plays it down low to Jenner. Jenner back to the point. Crom's shot through traffic. Tipped, and it gets past Howe. Calgary are on the board with 3:42 left in the first.
I think that may have hit Jocelyn LaRock, and if so, I mean, that's one way to beat the goaltender if you're Calgary tonight. We'll have to take another look at that, and here it is.
Calgary maybe changing up their strategy. They weren't necessarily taking these types of shots earlier in the game, but feeling the heat down 3-0, Crom just lets it go from the point. Tough to see if maybe Johnston got through there and got the tip.
It looked to me like, after seeing the replay, it looked like Johnson got it.
Vint cuts in and nearly regains the 3-goal lead, but Desjardins gets a pad on that one. The goals are coming quick, and they're coming fast, as we've still got 3:20 left here in the first period. Brampton lead the Calgary Inferno 3-1. Turnover. Jones gets it to Rattray. Centers it. Oh, and that attempt from Vint wide of the cage. Desjardins not happy. She takes a bit of a hack at Vint, where you can see Vint initially trying to hold up, and I don't think you can fault the Brampton player, but she is going to be penalized here. I thought she was just going to the net to try and make a play, but you can even see Mickelson's reaction. Vint in the box, Calgary to the power play.
That's weak. I'm sorry, but that's weak. I mean, she's trying to make a play on the puck. She didn't even knock the goaltender over. She held up on that play big time. I'm sorry, that's a weak call.
Well, special teams have been a big part of Brampton's success this season. Second-ranked power play, second-ranked penalty kill. And they're out there for the first time this afternoon as the PK takes the ice. Whereas there in Brampton's power play, Calgary's power play, I think a little bit of room to improve. They could be a little bit better. They're trying to create some offense here. The third-ranked power play for the Inferno. And Wickenheiser will start the breakout with $1:30 left in the power play.
Yeah, 15.5% on the power play this season for Calgary. Brampton, as you mentioned, the second-ranked at 84.6% penalty kill.
Turnbull with the puck at the far side. Hash marks back to the point. Quick touch pass from Wickenheiser right back to Turnbull. She leaves it for Campbell. Wickenheiser down low to Turnbull. Centers it in front, but Brampton collapses well, and they clear the pressure. Now 1:05 left in this power play. 2:15 left in the first period. Jenner, she's got room to wheel. Takes it across the blue line. Drops it for Johnston. Rebecca Johnston. Oh, Snipe City! It's 3-2. What a shot from Rebecca Johnston.
And as we were mentioning, this game is not over, not even close. And that's the difference Rebecca Johnston can make there. What a shot. And Howe down a little early on that play and didn't see the puck properly by the looks of it. Kind of lazily threw her glove up, not too sure that she saw that at all.
Calgary's bench is fired up. They were fired up after the first goal. They are really fired up right now, no pun intended, as the Inferno are now within one after giving up 3. What a game. Jenner draws the lone assist on the power play goal. As Johnston, a late addition to the Calgary lineup, but obviously a welcome one. She continues to perform nicely here for the Inferno. They're working for more as Saulnier in on the forecheck. Fortino there defensively. Saulnier comes up with it. She's got Laquette at the point, gets it to Mickelson. Mickelson tries to feed it towards the net, bouncing off the end boards, and Howe makes a solid save on the doorstep with Johnston knocking right there. Darren, this is a tough situation for Brampton because we've got an unproven backup in Jamie Miller on the bench, and you have to think they're going with Howe regardless of whatever happens here.
Howe's probably going to play this whole game. They don't really have the other option. I mean, Miller hasn't played it all this year, and she's only on the bench because Knox is hurt, right? And you don't want to go to somebody unproven like that in such an important game, even if Howe starts to give up a few goals here.
Shot attempt from the Inferno. Mickelson, who's yet to register a point in 10 games this season, with a couple of shot attempts here in the last couple moments, but that one deflected up and out of play off a Brampton player, so it'll keep the face-off inside the Thunder zone. Wickenheiser on the face-off here for the Inferno against Seedhouse. Wickenheiser kicks it on goal, and Howe down and holds that one for another draw. Buck 19 remaining in the first period. Make sure you stay tuned through the intermissions as Darren will have player interviews coming up. Jackie Pierre's shot on goal, bit of a wafter. Howe made the initial save, but then the puck was sitting there, and now Brampton cleared the danger as that puck skips into the Calgary bench with 1:05 left in the period. What a back and forth opening 20 minutes, eh, buddy?
Well, Brampton with a bit of a defensive lapse the last few minutes here, as they've just allowed Calgary a lot of space in the offensive zone, and it's hard to blame Howe, really. That first goal was just a ridiculous deflection, and then the second goal was just an amazing shot from Rebecca Johnston.
Yeah, on the power play, a natural sniper like that, it's that's going to be a next to impossible save for any goaltender to make. You certainly can't fault Howe. As Jenner leads the breakout for Calgary, tries to get it over to Saulnier, but Larocque breaks that one up, and McIntosh now has it for the Thunder. Skies it over to McParland. She's got Richards beside her. McParland puts it towards the net. Big rebound, net off the pegs, though. I believe that's the call here. Oh, maybe not, actually. But the whistle will stop play with 20. Oh, yeah, okay. Net was off the peg with 29 and a half seconds left in the period.
Yeah, got knocked off a couple inches there. Wasn't something I think Brampton even noticed.
Looks slightly ajar, and good job by the officials to catch that, because the last thing you want is controversy on a goal that shouldn't have gone in because the net was just off a little bit. Turnover through the neutral zone. Laquette will scoop it up, and Saulnier time for one more rush. She stood up at the blue line, but Laquette snipes it. Great glove save, big rebound. Mickelson, Laquette wants it. Turned over to Rattray. Here comes Rattray. Well, it looked like they were going to call icing, but instead they'll let the buzzer sound. So, despite some good efforts down the stretch, neither team able to generate a chance. Although there were lots of chances and lots of goals in that opening 20 minutes. After 20, it's the hometown Brampton Thunder with a 3-2 lead over the Calgary Inferno. Although maybe a bit of a tenuous lead, both teams, I think, maybe their heads down just a little bit. They should feel proud, though. It's been quite the entertaining opening 20 minutes, but it's anybody's guess whose game it's going to be. Home ice advantage in the playoffs on the line. It's Brampton with a 3-2 lead as you're watching on CWHLlive.com.
100% drive. 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #ChampionHer.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
You know, it's true. When I was growing up, there was sort of no place like for girls to play. They could maybe play when you were younger, and then at a certain point, they just had nowhere else to go. And I'll even jump into another sport, lacrosse. I mean, one of my fiercest, toughest opponents ever was this girl that played in Orangeville, and then she just stopped playing. And you know, sort of, in a way, I was happy because she was so tough, but it also broke my heart for her. But in hockey, you know, what does this mean?
You know, I grew up in the same way, wanting to, you know, play in the NHL because, you know, you get to a certain age where you don't even realize it's not available to you. And so for us now, this is such a great opportunity for young girls to, you know, grow up and don a jersey that represents the historic history of what the Toronto Maple Leafs have done, you know, for so many different organizations and community. And it's really amazing when you look at the new logo and see what a tie-in it is and how proud it is, because we're part of the nation.
Brampton, after one period of play here without the full level. Big comeback at the end of the first period there.
Yeah, I think our team really needed that. They got up on us like 3 goals really quickly and a couple of bounces, but we worked hard and got in their end and got the pucks in the net, and they worked out well.
Now, how important is it for you guys to come back and win this game and get home ice next weekend?
You know what? Every time we come here, we seem to struggle in this barn. It's a lot smaller. They have the home ice advantage in the crowd. It would be great to have that in our own end, just because we have great fans too, and the bigger rink too also helps us out.
And what do you got to do going into the second period to tie this game up and take the lead?
You know, I think we just need to build off of what happened at the end of the first there. Keep driving the net, getting putts to the net. You know, like, you never know. It's usually those dirty goals that go in. So as long as we keep getting people driving the net hard, winning our battles, first in the puck kind of thing, I think we're going to be successful.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second period, and we'll be back on CWHLlive.com.
Yeah, growing up in Canada, I think every kid's dream is to, you know, one day play in the NHL.
When you're a kid, it's the same as the guys. You dream of being in the NHL.
I would have loved to have grown up and been a hockey player and be paid for what I love to do.
It's a little tough for women to find places to play and to play at a high level.
When I tell people that I play pro hockey here, everyone says, oh, there's a women's team?
A tip shot right in, they score! Stopped by Kessler, rebound, they score! Here's a break, Johnston scores!
The best hockey that's played is played right here in the Canadian Women's Hockey League. It's like watching Canada and USA in every single game. It's not just every 4 years. It's just not 2 teams. It's 5 teams.
I think women's hockey has progressed more as a sport than any other sport in the world in the last 15 years. The women are excellent athletes. They're really good hockey players. I think it's terrific hockey.
What we need to do now is get the fan to just come out and support us and follow us.
All right, ladies, we got to be focused. We got to be ready to go. Big start, big start. You've got the top players in the world need a place to play, to train for those 3 years prior to the year of the Olympics. So each team's going to have 4 or 5 or 6 of them. They're very serious, they're very focused, they're very talented. Instantly, you've got the best elite hockey, I think, in the world.
We have some really intense rivalries. All the girls have been playing against each other their entire lives. Yeah, there's an energy there that I think is different than NHL or WHL. For the most part, it's nearly full contact. Especially at this level, the girls are so strong and so fast that it's unavoidable. You go into the corner battles, I think, are really similar.
For us, it has to do a lot with skill. There's not the big body checks or the hitting. It's still very aggressive.
Like, you don't get the huge open ice hits, but you still have a lot of physicality around the boards.
Get the speed going, guys. We have players who have retired from NCAA. They're out of the school, they're out of CIS. They want to keep playing. There's no money in it for them. So what we have on the squad is actually athletes that are just burning to play hockey.
We had 22 Olympians that attended the Olympics in Sochi. So you can imagine the level of hockey that is being played here.
Here we go, nice breakout,
People who play can relate to this. It's an escape from real life. You know, with school being difficult, hockey, it's an escape from that. And that's something I'm not ready to give up yet.
In general, they're putting their careers on hold to be able to play this game that they love.
I think I'd miss it too much right now if I were to quit. I just love to play the sport that I love, and so, you know, it's worth all the sacrifice and everything that comes with it.
There is a life during hockey. We sometimes help them find jobs if they want to come to a certain city and they have never been there.
I looked for work after I moved here. Hockey was, you know, #1, and I was going to make it work after that. I've been really fortunate. My company is extremely supportive. Extra vacation days if I need, and, you know, leaving early when I need to. They've even come out to a lot of my games, which has been pretty cool.
A lot of employers are kind of excited to have a player of that caliber because they're filled up with commitment and focus and discipline and work ethic and that kind of thing.
I love the fact that 95% of them are, you know, Ivy League graduates, and the fact of being brilliant in what they do. I always say to people, if you want to really see the true passion of hockey, follow one of our players.
It's hard to get a lot of games in. You have to play on the weekends because everyone has full-time jobs.
I'll have to take a vacation day on a Friday. We'll leave Friday 5 a.m. for the airport, play Friday night, play Saturday night, play Sunday morning, go straight to the airport after our game, get on a flight, get in at 2 in the morning or so, and then I have to be at work the next morning. So, you know, that's really tough.
You maneuver your life around your kids, you maneuver your life around your partners, you maneuver your life around your family, and all knowing perfectly well that, one, you're playing because you love to play, but two, you're playing because you're making it different for those that are coming in the future. The role models that we are creating within this Canadian Women's Hockey League is massive in the fact that everything they represent, everything they stand for is what I would want my daughter to grow up to be, because they're following a dream and a passion. So, you know, in the past 7 years, I think we've come a long way in recognition, but you're competing with so much, I mean, you know, in the entertainment world.
I'm a true believer that the foundation that has been built with the CWHL, it is the one that will bring us that success of a professional women's hockey league and eventually get the players paid.
When I started playing, I had no other option. You know, I was playing with the boys or nothing, really. There's been so much growth, so hopefully one day it'll get the exposure that it deserves.
You know, women's hockey is not NHL hockey. It never will be the same as the NHL game because of the physiological differences, but it doesn't mean that it can't be a great stand on its own game. It's baby steps, and it's not obviously happening as fast as everybody would like it to, but, you know, good people are involved with the league right now, and more are becoming interested.
I think this is a good product, one we can all be proud of. There is no reason that we can't grow this sport and get it to a level where women can play professionally and earn a living doing it just like men do.
When the Olympics happened, it was interesting the amount of calls I received, the unfairness of our women not being paid. And how could we have men competing for the gold medal and making, you know, $25 billion with their salaries all added up, and our women making $0? In all honesty, the 13 million people who watched that final game, they made an impact with the sponsors. The simplicity for us is that in order to support our league, in order to make sure our players get paid, we need you. We need you to buy a ticket. And in $15, you will secure the future for women to be paid.
How do you feel about the game so far?
You know, I think all lines are going right now. We're on 6 cylinders for sure, you know. We just want to get pucks deep, get our legs going a little bit, shots to the net, you know. First game, we're ready.
Captain Campbell, how do you feel about that C on your jersey?
A little overwhelmed, a lot of pressure, especially taking a draw against the goalie.
You're doing okay, though.
Tried to use my tomahawk on her glove, but
I think she won that one for sure. You guys want to talk about what just happened down there?
No, we don't.
No, okay. No comment.
Look away, look away.
Guys, you know we're going to have to talk about that last shift. Do you want to tell me what was going through your mind when you were getting stoned?
Get put on there. Maybe try to put a little razy on it.
Maybe next time? At least your dance skills were on point.
Oh, great. Did you get that?
Yeah. Espo, was she trash talking you when you got stoned by her with that glove?
She said thanks for putting it in her glove.
Oh, all right.
Which is what I was doing. She told me before to do that.
Oh, okay. Good. Schooner, anything to say?
No, you know it's coming. We're working hard.
We're on an amazing race to score the first goal, if you will.
Pretty much.
Sorry, Sammy. Campbell. You only save those bar down shots for me in practice, or what? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that was enough.
A little bit. Making it look good. Oh boy. Hey, Espo. Did you or did you not trip over the puck on a partial breakaway?
I tried to do a big shot and leave it.
Is that going to be your move for the shootout? Okay. Did you or did you not dive on Long Earth trip?
Welcome back inside Memorial Arena. Feel like high-scoring, entertaining hockey. Well, the first 20 minutes was exactly what you wanted to see. And let's see if that continues here as we get you set for the second period in this matinee game Sunday afternoon as the Brampton Thunder hosts the Calgary Inferno. I'm Nico Cardarelli, Darren Alley up here in the booth with me as we provide the commentary, and Steve Mitchell leads our technical crew behind the scenes, doing a fantastic game as always. Darren, that was quite the entertaining first period. Who knows whose game this is going to be going forward?
Well, we've already talked about the barn burner these two had earlier in the season, an 8-7 shootout victory for Brampton, and how they came back from a 4-goal deficit in the second period in that one. Calgary's on their way to coming back from what was a 3-0 Brampton lead here, so nothing is ever concrete with these two teams. As long as there's time on the clock, this game's not over.
We get you underway here in the second period. Brampton will move from right to left on your screen. Calgary wearing their white jerseys with some red and gold trim there on the forecheck early on as Mickelson gets that puck just chipped past her, and now Lequette hammers it against the boards, and quickly Calgary putting on some pressure. Rock off the glass, out to center ice where Rattray gets it to Vint. Again, the play of Vint down the stretch for the Brampton Thunder. Impressive, maybe not even doing it justice as Wickenheiser brings this one across the blue line. Jenner drops it to Johnston. She's got both goals for Calgary, but that shot attempt was blocked. And again, just to elaborate on that point about Vint, give her now 17 points over her last 11 games. A bouncer right in on Desjardins. She gives up a huge rebound. Richards corrals it, puts it right on, and we made the point in the break. It'd be interesting to see if Calgary went back to Delaney Bryan or kept with Kathy Desjardins. I thought Desjardins looked a little shaky coming in relief, although she did turn everything away, and there we got another look. Maybe she just quite hasn't got her feet solid yet, as she made a bit of a ham on that one.
Looked very shaky on that play. I don't even know how that puck viciously got back out where it did. I mean, she must have kicked her right foot inward, which allowed the puck to scoop off of her pad, and we're taking a look at that, and yeah, she pushed her right foot, and it just kicked the puck right out in front of the net. Luckily, two of her own players were there to recover, and then she made a nice save on Richards.
Well, you made the point that Calgary just looks so much better playing in front of Desjardins, and well, may not be textbook goaltending, but so far she's been perfect in relief. She stopped the bleeding, and ultimately that's what you want of your backup coming in a tough situation. Calgary, after giving up 3 unanswered goals, answer back with 2 of their own, and now they're working for more as Crom looked for the tip as Campbell fed it down low.
Well, it's going to be up to Brampton here to try to get that offensive momentum back that they have for the first 15 minutes of the first period, because you've got an inexperienced backup goalie in goal who's already looked pretty shaky. So get some shots on her. See what you can do.
You know, Desjardins has some really good numbers in terms of her statistics, as Richards took a bit of a knock going to the bench. Shot attempt from Turnbull, big pad save, rebound, and Calgary puts it over top the goal as Erica Howe making a couple of solid stops of her own there. Vint comes up with it now for Brampton. She makes the pass over to Rattray. Just out of her reach, had more there defensively. Rattray gets it back, steps out of the corner, stripped away from her, but Edney keeps it in the zone. Jones centers it. Oh, Vint can't put it on net. I was making the point that Desjardins has some pretty solid numbers on the season statistically. There she makes a save, but again, the puck just kind of rattles around in her equipment. She's just able to squeeze it with 17 left in the period.
And Rebecca Vint there with a chance for her second on the afternoon, right in front of the goal there, just missed the net, and that would have given her her 20th goal of the season, which would have only been 2 behind Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Of course, the other game in the CWHL going on is there's a drive right on, blocker saved by Desjardins. It's the Montreal Boston rivalry that keeps going. As I don't know if you can necessarily call it much of a rivalry this year in particular, but of course that's a historic rivalry in hockey in itself. But Les Canadiens with a dominating 6-0 lead after 1, and Marie-Philippe Poulin on our last check, just 2 assists in that game. She must be taking it easy right now.
Well, after winning 14-0 yesterday. Yeah, 14-0 yesterday. They're up 6-0 after 1 today. I mean, it's just been a dominating performance for Montreal.
Jam home play, nothing doing as McParlin picks it up now. Desjardins had her pad against the post, and Mickelson will corral it here for Calgary. She'll start the breakout with 16-12 remaining in the period. McParlin gains the blue line, cuts into the middle, but she's stripped of the puck. Defensively there, Megan Mickelson. Burchard lets the shot from the point, but a couple of Inferno sticks knocked that puck down, and it never made it on goal. Johnston, she tees it up from distance. Good blocker saved by Howe. Big rebound. Johnston put it off the side of the goal. Now it's near side, up against the boards and into the corner, where that was Wickenheiser who was tripped up. Turnbull off the turnover chance. Great goaltending from Howe. Stood tall. I should say, was strong in the butterfly position, and there you can see it. She had the puck between her pads the whole time.
Getting a little chippy down low there. You can hear the benches screaming for penalties. And
yeah, Calgary are pretty heated right now. Wickenheiser in particular. I think she felt like she got dumped a little bit. I think the other discussion here is where the face-off's coming.
They're taking it outside by the looks of it, and
that's an interesting call in itself.
They may be I think the whistle blew when the net came off its moorings, and they may be putting that on Calgary, which is why it would come outside.
So the Inferno with some good pressure down low, but ultimately no goal comes out of it. Wickenheiser there takes one right around the neck, and she's still grabbing her neck area just a little bit. I think that actually caught her under the cage, but she's certainly tough, continues to play on, but we'll keep an eye out there. Wickenheiser now heads to the bench, and she's definitely a little shaken up after taking that puck in the neck area. Brampton delayed offside. They're going to have to back off that attack, and that'll give Campbell a chance here for Calgary. She gets tripped up, nothing doing, and Brampton look for the long stretch pass. Rattray, good poke check by Desjardins, centered in front for Vint, but Cudmore there defensively. Rattray in the far corner, pinned up by Cudmore, but the Canada, Ontario native, Rattray comes up with it. Down low to Jones, who turns it over to Pieri, and here comes the Inferno, led by Esposito. Her lackadaisical pass, easily dealt with by Larocque, and now Pieri comes up with it. Not just out of the reach of Esposito, under the stick of Edney, but the Brampton defender first on it, plays it far side to McParland. Nice play there by Davis to keep her hand out and impede that breakout. It keeps the puck in the zone, but now Becca King plays it to Edney, and they'll just get it out. And thought they were going to get some changes, but the same unit stays out there for the Thunder. Edney back on it, chased by Warren, or excuse me, that's Saulnier. Jenner, good play down low, keeps the puck in for now, but now Edney comes up with it. Poked away by Johnston. Rebecca Johnston, I guess, still very much with a chance for a natural hat trick here. She scored the last 2 goals in this game. Centered in front, attempted for Johnston, but checked closely by Becca King. There's a one-timer by Lequette, but it goes wide of the cage. McParland, the only Thunder player up there, all alone, tries to feed the shot through, but Mickelson blocks it, and then Desjardins leaves it for Lequette. Lequette tries to get it up to Saulnier, but that's broken up. Fortino with it. Touch pass to Montgomery. She's checked closely by Lequette. Cation and Seedhouse out there for Brampton. They force the pressure, which leads to an icing call as we've got 13-13 left in the second period in a 3-2 game between the Thunder and the Inferno.
Now, Nico, I've got a question for you. If you're Calgary coach Scott Reed,
yes,
and this holds, or Calgary comes back and wins, but Desjardins does not give up a goal, who starts for you on Friday?
I think, with all due respect to Desjardins, who, well, she's held her ground here since coming in. I think you got to go with the horse that got you there. I think you got to go back to Delaney Bryan as Brampton, Laura Fortino rings that one off the crossbar. Brampton nearly makes it a 2-goal game.
Man, does she ever have a nice shot. Wow. Accurate, too. Like, that looked like it hit the corner of the post in the crossbar and up into the screen. Like, you don't get much closer than that.
You can see the reaction of Rattray in front, providing the screen, just cranks her head skyward, knowing that Brampton were that close to gaining a little bit of breathing room. Now, it's a good question that you posed, though, about the goaltending potential dilemma as Burchard unleashes one, and that definitely rang off Cunningham. She's going to head right to the bench. Calgary with a jam home play, but Howe makes a good save. And here comes Rattray, one-on-one with Pieri. Back checking, good defense from Pieri. Takes her wide, dispossessed her of the puck. She also had the backup from Campbell. That's good defense there from the Inferno. Oh, what a play by Vint! Nearly got her second of the game, but a great save by Desjardins.
Following the play well was Kathy Desjardins on that one, and didn't give Vint the space in the 5-hole that she was looking for. Great save there by Desjardins. That was well played. And she looked shaky. We're gonna have a penalty to both Pierre and Vint here for the roughing after the whistle there. But she looked shaky to start this game, but she's picked up her play a little bit. She looks a little bit more confident in herself here.
Well, she followed Vint perfectly and just got the wickets closed in time, because you're right, Vint was trying to slide that 5-hole. But Kathy Desjardins continues to keep the wound shut for now, as Calgary, after giving up 3 straight goals, Delaney Bryan between the pipes for all 3. Since Desjardins has come in, as she makes another save there, Calgary have not only not given up another goal, they've responded with 2 of their own, and that's where we're at right now in a 3-2 game as we approach the midway mark of this period.
And for Kristen Richards on that play, you can give her some kudos for trying that, but she pretty much just pushed towards the puck towards the net herself off the face-off. Interesting play by her there.
Mickelson feeling a little bit of heat from the aforementioned Richards, spins away and leaves it for Johnston. Rebecca Johnston, room to skate, and she'll take that space all day. Across the blue line, Johnston. She's got Saulnier with her in support, Mickelson as well, and it's Mickelson who dishes it off to Jenner. Jenner, nice play to tee the blue line. Mickelson, toe drag, just turned it over to Edney. I think she delayed a little bit between the shot and the pass. Richards at the end of a shift, she got sprung, but you could see she was gassed, unable to get the separation, and as a result, she's caught from behind. But Brampton still with possession. McParland unleashes it, big rebound. Rattray was crashing after it, but Mickelson at the end of her shift with a couple of great plays and a well-deserved rest for Megan Mickelson after the end of a tough shift. Laura Fortino does a good job to hold Turnbull wide. Turnbull and Wickenheiser there for Calgary, and it's Turnbull who keeps the line. Fortino turns it over. You can see Brampton trying to spring those long outlet passes, a little bit of cherry picking if you're playing on the playground, as Wickenheiser holds the blue line. Her shot goes off the skates of Fortino, now picked up by Sarah Davis, plays it far side behind the net. And once again, that pesky net off its pegs. We'll take a break, or at least a stoppage in play with 10:50 left in the period.
Well, they've got to do something about that net down in that end. It's come off 4 or 5 times already this afternoon, and it's been the same post every time.
With the amount of action that post is getting, it should get its own Twitter account.
Let's not start that.
Off the draw, the Inferno corral it. Campbell lets the shot go, but never made it through traffic, and it'll be Laquette first on it for Calgary. She'll take it all the way behind her own goal and leave it for Cudmore. Haley Cudmore, tape-to-tape pass for Lovell. Lovell will dump it in deep, and it'll be Fortino in a foot race with Campbell. It's the Brampton defender who comes up with it, at least temporarily, as Fortino plays it near side now to Burchard. Long pass intended for King, out of her reach. That's going to be an icing call against Brampton. The coincidental minors are over, as we've got 10-12 left in this second period.
Back to full strike now. You saw a little bit of an open ice opportunity for both teams there on the 4-on-4. We saw that play where Fortino turned it over in her own end. Jones and Rattray standing at the boards. A good pass from her there, and they've got a 2-on-1. Interesting play call there.
Brampton off the glass, icing waved off here, so Crom will be first on it, under pressure from Vint. And Mickelson in there to provide some more defensive support. Vint just crashes on top of the puck, and that'll gain a face-off within the Calgary zone.
How good has Vint been today? Oh, all over the puck. She's just fantastic right now. On fire, as you mentioned now. What is it, 17 points in 11 games?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. For the casual fan, to put that into perspective, it's a 24-game season. She's essentially gone now half the season on a consecutive point streak. And has it not been for the play of the incredible Marie-Philippe Poulin, as Calgary, with a bit of a bouncer, nearly out of midair, tap it on goal. Johnson leading the break again for the Inferno. But again, has it not been for the play of Poulin for the Les Canadiens, Vince right up there in the discussion of MVP. I stick the call here. This will bring the face-off into the neutral zone, and that'll give us an opportunity to remind you at home to get in on even more of the action by joining the conversation online using the hashtag CWHL Live. We want to remind you, you can get your Clarkson Cup tickets coming up. Well, actually, they're on sale now, so make sure you get them. A couple of great playoff series as the Brampton Thunder will be taking on the Calgary Inferno, and we don't know where yet, but we already know for certain the Montreal Les Canadiens will be hosting the Toronto Furies, and of course the Clarkson Cup itself to be played in Ottawa this year. A great event, so make sure you get your tickets today. Jamie Lee Rashford scoops up this puck, brings it across the blue line, lets the shot go, but what a glove save by Desjardins, who's looking more and more confident as she gets further into this game.
Just an update from out of town now, 7-0 Les Canadiens over Boston, and is Toronto ever going to be in tough? We'll take another look at that opportunity for Rashford there, but are the Furies ever going to have a tough matchup in those 2, possibly 3 games in Montreal?
No easy road to the Clarkson Cup final, that's for certain. 4 really quality teams will be battling in the postseason. The only thing yet to be determined at this point is who's going to get home ice advantage in this playoff preview between the Calgary Inferno and the Brampton Thunder. And really with these 2 teams playing last night, as Montgomery lets a shot go, but that one's turned away. And this one tonight, and then the best of 3 coming up. This is now essentially a 7-game playoff series, and really, Darren, it almost has that feel right now.
It really does. There's some unspoken intensity between these 2 teams today, and almost a nervous energy. We mentioned it pregame. You can still see it now, and we're halfway through this game, and both teams still look a little bit passive almost. Like they're...
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
And it's tightened up since that almost wide open first period. It's being checked a lot closer by both teams. The chances being generated are far less quality than what we saw in the opening 20 minutes, and it really does have a playoff type feel at this point, as we're in the final regular season game of this fantastic year, as featured lots of highlights for the CWHL in 2015, 2016. Sarah Edney on the puck, check closely, turns it over. Campbell with it for Calgary, tries to step in front. Oh, she's dropped by the rock, and that'll be a penalty coming up to Brampton. Lequette looks for a shooting lane. Now they whistled that down well. Lequette still had the puck on her stick, but Darren, it's that pesky post that's off the peg once again. And that's why we've got the early stoppage.
I was wondering what was going on there. I wasn't sure if they were calling another penalty possibly on Calgary, but you're right, it's that post once again.
And yeah, I thought the same thing too initially, because with all the traffic in front, you could potentially see a Calgary player maybe taking a whack or 2, but there you see the actual penalty called against Brampton's captain, Larocque. Now, as a result of the post coming off, this is going to lead to the face-off being in the neutral zone.
Interesting. Start of the power play.
Well, the Inferno look to start this power play with Wickenheiser up the middle, Davis on the right wing, and Campbell on the left side, Cudmore and Turnbull on the blue line. Brampton will start the PK with, Fortino, Richards, Montgomery, and Burchard. Calgary 1-for-1 on the power play in this game. The second of their 2 goals coming on the advantage, courtesy Rebecca Johnson. So with 7:15 left in the second period, Calgary with an advantage, but early on here, Brampton effective on the kill. 20 seconds gone off the power play as Cudmore makes the pass to Sarah Davis. Davis, she's got Turnbull with her. Davis feeds it in front, big rebound. There's a shot from Campbell, but that one deflected wide. Howe made a good save, but a big rebound. No save that time. It's a one-timer goal on the power play. Haley Cudmore, and we're all tied up at 3. The momentum has been swinging all game, and Calgary finally have it back in their favor, at least for now. Here we get a look at this power play goal. Calgary 2 for 2 on the power play.
And it felt like it was a matter of time here for the Inferno on this power play. So much pressure, so much open space, and no mistake there for Cudmore.
Really tough for Howe to make the save on the one-timer there with the puck going along the ice like that, because just the natural momentum in terms of her movement takes her away from making that save. But for Calgary, they've tied it up, and they're looking for more. Johnston, inches wide of giving Calgary their first lead of the game. What a back-and-forth battle this one has been, as we've got 6:25 remaining in the second period.
And gone is Brampton's 3-0 lead.
3 goals unanswered for both teams. The swings in this one have been, I'd say, unbelievable, but based on the way these two teams played each other all year long, maybe it's the script, as Calgary do a good job to negate an icing call there. So Davis will get credit for the goal, interestingly enough. I guess she got a tip on it, because Cudmore got the initial shot from the point. I don't think Scott Reed will care who gets credit for it. It's the 3-3 scoreline that gives Calgary a bit more confidence right now. 2 for 2 on the power play are the Inferno. So Brampton, the most penalized team in the CWHL, well, they're going to have to make sure they play really disciplined hockey the rest of this one.
Well, special teams uncharacteristic from both teams so far. Brampton with the second ranked penalty kill at 84.6%, and Calgary's power play third ranked at 15.5%. So a little bit backwards from what you'd expect on the penalty teams. The special teams here today.
Esposito just offside at the blue line, so that'll give us a stoppage in play with 5:05 left in the second period. It's 3-3 in this all-important game between the Calgary Inferno and the Brampton Thunder on CWHLlive.com. Off the draw, Calgary dump it in. Esposito out of the corner, puts it to the far side. Pierre pinches in from the point, but Becca King does a good job to get it off the glass and out. Esposito leads the breakout for Calgary. Campbell right back to Espo. She takes it across the blue line, stick handles, fans on the shot, but still has it. Good recovery there by Brittany Esposito. Campbell comes up with it now for Calgary. Plays it back to the point, just outside of the line is Pierre. He couldn't quite get to that puck in time. That'll give us a stoppage of 4:29.
And the momentum is entirely with Calgary right now. Brampton hasn't been able to get anything going over the past 5 minutes or so, and they've really got to try to pick their game up here, because it's not, they don't have the lead anymore. This game's tied. No more sitting back. You've got to push. You've got to get the lead here.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously a really tough position and reality for Brampton to face right now. We've blown a 3-0 lead in a really important game, especially when you look at the head-to-head records in terms of home ice advantage between these two teams. Rattray creates a turnover here, and she'll be able to chase this one down. But really, Brampton's playing with, as that one just outside the blue line, Fortino brings it in offside. I guess really both of these teams kind of playing with house money at this point. You know, Brampton certainly looked discouraged. We can see the faces of the ladies when they skate to the bench below us. A little bit of disbelief in the look amongst them right now, but you treat this as a 0-0 game. Start it fresh. You just got to get through this, I guess, bit of a downside right now, because as you mentioned, Darren, Calgary certainly have all the momentum at this point.
I think going into the second intermission, Coach Fines is really going to need to fire his team up. He's going to have to be hot in that dressing room and get them going, get some energy back in them.
Wickenheiser takes a bump when she wasn't even on the puck. No call out of it. Bit of an interesting no call. Calgary generated a bit of a chance, but turned away by Howe. Long stretch pass intended for Warren out of her reach. That's an icing call against the Inferno. Again, to summarize what could happen here, Calgary wins in any fashion, be it regulation or OT. they'll take home ice advantage. Brampton win in any fashion, home ice, or regulation or OT, then the playoff games will be here next week. So, oh, what a save by Desjardins as McIntosh had her all sprawled out. A lot on the line still to be determined here in the final 3 minutes of this period. And of course the final 20 minutes of the third. This game between the Calgary Inferno and the Brampton Thunder on CWHLlive.com. Battle for the puck in the corner. Players all over the ice. The physicality really stepping up now. Maybe the desperation as well from both teams.
The officials really putting their whistles away right now. I've seen about 4 penalties in the past 15 seconds.
The Rock, she was the penalized player in the box when Calgary tied this one up. So maybe looking for an opportunity to redeem herself, dumps it in. Brampton unable to regain puck possession, and here come the Inferno. Campbell, she's got Esposito with her and Sarah Davis as well. It's over to Davis. Davis tries to center it, but that one's broken up. Burchard tied up. Richards to Montgomery. Burchard, she's got room to skate. Courtney Burchard makes the pass to Fortino. Fortino on the back end. Oh! Centered it to Burchard. She had an open net, but never could corral the puck. Jenner led the rush, but turned it over to Burchard as we're inside the final 2 minutes of the second period. Courtney Burchard tees it up, but brings it in offside, so that'll put a whistle and a stoppage to play.
And Kathy Desjardins right now, I think, is making an argument using her play for her to start those playoff games next weekend. I mean, Delaney Bryan's a solid goaltender. Her numbers this year aren't great, though. When you look at Desjardins' numbers in a smaller sample size, they are better.
Yeah, statistically, you're right.
And despite the shaky start here, she has yet to give up a goal, and she's made some very solid saves.
Timely saves as well, and there's no disputing the way the team has responded in front of her as Rebecca Johnston shot right on, but Erica Howe makes a good save, an important one there for the Thunder.
And we talked about the goaltender for Calgary after Brampton went up 2-0 and 3-0, that they needed to give Calgary a chance to get back in this game, and Desjardins has been the one to do that here.
Face-off coming up to the right of Erica Howe. It's Sarah Davis on the draw against her numerical counterpart, Kristen Richards, and it's Richards who wins it for Brampton as we're inside the final 90 seconds of the second period in this back and forth and highly entertaining final game of the regular season in the CWHL between the Brampton Thunder and the Calgary Inferno. Richards ridden into the corner. The hometown fans wanting a call, but again, Darren, as you mentioned, the officials, it's going to have to be a pretty obvious call for them to call an infraction at this point. Make sure you stay tuned throughout the intermission. We'll have a couple interviews coming up. There's an obvious call. Laquette throws out the leg and trips up Richards. Richards a little slow to get to her feet here, and that was frankly a dangerous play by Laquette. I'm surprised she would even do that.
Yeah, that's awful. You don't want to stick your skate out. You've got sharp metal blades on the bottom of your feet.
And Richards has a couple of choice words for Laquette as she heads to the penalty box, but Laquette not showing much remorse on her face right now.
What an awful play that was. You don't want to see that. You don't want to. Wow.
Well, it's great to see Richards get to the bench under her own power, but she's absolutely steamed, and she's got every right to be upset about that play. That was, well, that was a bit of a greasy penalty there by Laquette.
And you don't want to see that because you can cut a player and you can cut them badly through their sock. And I mean, that can be a very serious injury if it goes the wrong way.
Just a lot can go wrong there. Potential knee on knee, potential blade to a ligament. Yeah, it's a dangerous play, but it results in a Brampton power play inside the final minute of the period here. As we're all tied up at threes, Fortino brings it in, backhands it, funny bounce off the stanchion, and right on goal where Desjardins will just hold that one for the face-off. The Thunder 0 for 1 on the power play in this game so far, but while they want to cash in before the end of the period, going out with the big guns here, it's Vint, Jones, Rattray, Burchard, and Fortino. Fortino makes the pass to Jones, far side hash marks, 20 seconds left in the period. Down low to Rattray, far side, Stick handles it, checked closely by Jenner. Good play by Fortino. Nicholson, they dig it away, and heads up play by the Inferno. They'll ice it down with just seconds left on the clock. Howe does a good job to play it into the corner. That'll do it for the second period. So Brampton will start the third period with 1:08 on the power play, but it's the Inferno who find their way back into this game. 3 unanswered goals from Brampton to start it, 3 back from Calgary, and that's where we're at after 40 minutes of play. It's a 3-3 tie heading into the final third period of the regular season in this 2015-2016 CWHL year. As you're watching the Brampton Thunder and the Calgary Inferno live on CWHL.com. We've got some great interviews coming up in this intermission as Darren Alley gets set to speak with a Brampton Thunder player. And then I'll talk to Shay Kewen, one of the founders of the technology being featured in this game, the helmet cams. So we've got those coming up for you in the second intermission. Make sure you stay tuned. Once again, the score after 40 minutes, the Calgary Inferno 3, the Brampton Thunder 3. You're watching on CWHLLive.com.
Hey! 100% drive. 100% passion. 100% effort. But women in sports get only 5% of the attention. Canada's dairy farmers believe women in sports should be seen and heard loud and clear. With Fueling Women's Champions, we're shining a light on women athletes at every level. Join us. #ChampionHer.
When I was 7, I wore these gloves. They held this stick. Well, these skates carried me over the blue line. We won the championship, and now it's all yours. Cool. Oh, and this mouth guard. I'll get my own. Thanks.
The 5th season is when spirit for the game gets passed down. That's why we're proud to support over 5,000 teams.
After 2 periods of play here at Brampton Memorial Arena, I'm joined by Jamie Lee Rashford. Jamie, you lost that 3-goal lead. What are you going to do going into the third period to get that back?
I think keep playing our game. I think a couple goals, it's just got to bounce back from it and play our game, and that's what was working for us yesterday and earlier today. So I think just stick with it, and we're going to hopefully get a couple here.
Another crazy game between you and Calgary, and how does that speak to the way you two teams match up?
It's a pretty good matchup. I mean, it's usually wide open, and it's 2 great teams going head-to-head, and we've got some pretty good stuff on the line today, so I think you'll see a really good third period, and winner takes home ice, and I think that's a pretty good incentive for us, too.
Well, speaking of home ice, how important is that for you guys next weekend to be back here playing in Brampton?
Huge, huge. I mean, that's an incentive all in itself. I mean, being at home and not having to travel is huge, especially in the playoffs, and we're going to bring it here in the third and try to bring it home.
All right, good luck in the third period, and you will be back on CWHLLive.com.
Folks, I'm very pleased to be joined by Shay Kewen, one of the founders of UHawk Technology. And Shay, it's quite the piece of technology that you and your partner Tim have come up with, and it's being featured in this game today. So why don't you elaborate on exactly what UHawk is, because I think for any fan of hockey and sports in general, this has got to be an exciting development.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting development. It's very special. We're very fortunate to be here today and very grateful for the opportunity with the Canadian Women's Hockey League. And what we developed is, you see it here, I'm wearing it around my neck, but typically it's worn by the athlete on the helmet. Right. And this is the first camera that's designed for the athlete. And we really started in hockey, so that's where our roots were. And it just mounts right on the front of the helmet through a very unique and proprietary harnessing system. And it allows the athlete to get back into their own perspective, their own vision, and see the game and analyze their mistakes and improve on their performance, build confidence, and it's also a great entertainment tool.
There's so many benefits, but I'm curious to get your perspective as a former hockey player, as a former athlete, for someone who's had to sit in the tape room and sit and watch those video sessions. How does this help an athlete develop? Because I got to think that just changes the whole kind of tape review perspective of things.
It does. It changes the game. It's unbelievable as an athlete, because a lot of times you don't exactly remember what you saw from your own perspective, and you see the third person point of view. But to actually get into your own field of vision is much more realistic, and you pick up on a lot of different things, little tendencies of opponents, and you really feel what you're feeling in those exact moments. Sure. So. It's a very different perspective, and it's a very real perspective. So as an athlete, to visualize from that point of view really improves your decision making, your spatial awareness on the ice, and it's kind of like the way fighter pilots have been training for decades, putting themselves in first-person simulators.
Shay, for folks who maybe don't know the background in terms of how UHawk was developed, tell us a little bit, a quick Coles Notes version about how you and Tim came up with this idea in the first place.
Well, me and my partner, Tim Priamo, we were in University of New Brunswick. We were both doing our MBAs and playing for the Varsity Reds. And, we were in the basement, and we were looking at ways that, we could improve the game of hockey and start a business within hockey. Concussions were prevalent at the time, and we were looking at how we could increase vision and make players smarter to be more aware of their surroundings. And we recognized an opportunity with an embedded camera, and so we went about just designing different types of cameras and bringing that to the game, and then relaying it across all sports.
Shay, we really appreciate your time, and before we let you go, where can folks find out more about UHawk? If they want to get their own, where can they get that information online?
We are shipping now. We're shipping. You can order them directly at uhawk.com. That's uhwk.com. And everything is online. It's a great product. They're retailing for $249.99, and it's unbelievable value for the athlete.
Well, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you bringing up the great setup here, and I can't wait to see the footage from this game in particular. 5 players wearing the UHawk technology in this one. It's going to be a great example to see it. And Shay, we can't thank you enough for your time. It really means so much.
Thanks a lot, Nico. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being a supporter of the CWHL. And we'll get you set for the third period coming up as we get the Brampton Thunder and the Calgary Inferno deciding who gets home ice advantage in the playoffs. It's coming up on CWHLlive.com. Get a look at some of the UHawk technology right here.
Take a peek here.
So there you go, folks. You get a inside look at a CWHL game like you've never seen it before from the player's perspective. Technology developed by, as Don Cherry would say, a couple of good old Canadian boys, Shay Kewen and Tim Priamo, as they're the developers of UHawk technology. Oh, fantastic, Shay. Thank you so much for your time, Tim. We appreciate the efforts you guys have made. And once again, we'll get you set for the third period coming up here on CWHLlive.com. We're getting you set for the third period of play. MJ's got a smile on her face. Fielding Montgomery seems to have a positive outlook on this one, but we'll see which team has more spirit going into this third period. We're all tied up at 3 in this all-important game between the Brampton Thunder and the Calgary Inferno. Again, if you're just joining us, the winner of this one will get home ice advantage as these two teams will play each other in the postseason.
Now 1 minute and 8 seconds left on the penalty to Laquette, so Brampton with an opportunity to take the lead back here early in period number 3. Something that they really need to take advantage of because they have looked a little bit lackluster since about the 5 minutes remaining in the first. Calgary's carried the play for most of the second period and the end of the first period there. I've talked to Laval of the Inferno and Rattray of Brampton, asked both of them about how important home ice advantage is to them, and, well, let's just say both teams really want to win this game.
We're about 20 minutes away, at least in regulation, of finding out who will be the winner in this highly entertaining, extremely back and forth game between the Calgary Inferno and the Brampton Thunder. Desjardins out of her net to play this one as we've got 20 seconds gone in the third period. Again, Brampton with the power play here. There's a sharp angle shot that Desjardins turns away, knocked down by a high stick. The play continues on. 35 seconds left in the Thunder power play. Vint, far side hash marks. Top of the circle, tries to feed it, but that's broken up by Johnston, and then she'll ice it down the length here as Howe will leave it for Fortino with 20 seconds left in the Brampton power play. Courtney Burchard. Nice pass over to Rattray. Rattray checked closely by Davis. Rides her into the near boards, and now it's Jess Jones centering it in front, but no one there for Brampton to get a stick on it, and that'll just about do it for the power play. So the Thunder unable to cash in, and then Burchard, who played it off the boards, got Howe maybe a little jumpy. That shot, well, a pass, almost turned out to be an own shot on goal. So it's been a interesting game in terms of trends as Wickenheiser brings this one in. Dumps it into the corner for Jenner. Jenner, strong game for Calgary. 1 assist. Sammy Jo Small in the house here. As that puck pinned up against the boards will give us a break with 18:24 left in the third. Now, a couple of trends. Brampton 0 for 2 on the power play. Calgary 2 for 2 on the power play. Teams exchanging 3-goal advantages, I guess, or swings anyways, as Brampton opened up the game 3-0, then Calgary stormed back with 3 straight of their own. Just quite a entertaining game, interesting game. Hard to read game in terms of who's going to come out on top, but there's a seemingly harmless shot from the point that finds a way past Erica Howe, and Laquette has given Calgary their first lead of the game. 18:08 left in the third period. The Inferno go up 4-3.
And another shot from Calgary, similar to their first goal, that just kind of flutters in on net, takes possibly an odd bounce, and Laquette from the point, it looked like it may have hit the Brampton player in the slot there. I'm not sure. That's a tough one to see, but man, that's another tough goal if you're Erica Howe in the Brampton Thunder, because it's just a fluke shot from the point.
And it's a desperation play almost by Laquette just to hold the line. So Laquette draws the assist.
Cudmore must have got a tip on that in front.
That's interesting, because Cudmore's usually at the point as well, but...
And that from a player who...
Cudmore couldn't have gotten a tip. You see her there at the
top
of the... So that's got to be changed at some point. Right now it's credited to Cudmore. Laquette drawing the assist, but...
and that's from a player who shouldn't necessarily still be playing in this game.
Well, yeah, we talk about that penalty she took. Campbell brings it in, feeds it over to Davis. That could have been the clincher, but she couldn't get a stick on it. Here comes Jess Jones over to Vint. Vint, oh, what a save! Desjardins keeps it out. And that's interesting, because Desjardins gave her the far side, almost read that Vint wanted the near side top corner, but Desjardins just makes a fantastic and a very timely save.
Desjardins has had one of the most interesting games from a goaltender that I have ever seen. She comes in relief down 3-0, looked absolutely shaky and nervous and just out of her mind, and she has responded with multiple massive saves.
Calgary trying to increase their lead, which, well, it's the first time all game they've led. They gained that lead with a minute 52 into this third period, but now it's Brampton digging away for some offensive pressure. And again, just going back to that chance for Vint, on the replay, it was evident how much space Desjardins was giving up on the blocker side, almost as if she was baiting Vint there, but Vint just couldn't sneak it up into the near top corner. Wickenheiser skating the puck in, but this is going to be a penalty here against Calgary, looking to call an untimely penalty, and it's Laquette who playing some undisciplined hockey, although impactful hockey to be certain. She's back to the box here for the Inferno.
Well, third power play opportunity for the Thunder here. They're 0 for 2 thus far, sitting at a power play second ranked in the CWHL at 19.3% coming into the game, and they're really going to have to get it going right here. They got to get this game tied back up.
Off the draw, McIntosh lets the shot go, big rebound, bouncing puck, where is it? It's on the stick of Johnston, but not out of the zone. Edney skies it well over top the net. The Rock holds it in at the point. Plays it down low where Pierre comes up with it. So Laquette does credit for the Calgary goal, and they're going to reverse it. Cudmore will get the lone assist. Laquette gets the goal, and that gives Calgary the 4-3 lead. Buck 25 left on the Brampton power play. LaRock brings it into the zone. Drives wide, cuts in, right on goal, big rebound, and they score! McIntosh gets it right back. The seesaw battle continues. It's 4-4 with 16:04 left in the third period. And Brampton finally take advantage of a power play opportunity, now 1 for 3.
And you can hear the energy on the bench right now. Take another look at that one as a nice goal there from McIntosh, but you can hear the girls on the bench just going nuts, and they've got the energy back now. Here we go.
The momentum swings have been plenty, that's for sure. Again, a quick recap. Brampton opened up the game with 3 straight goals in the first period. Calgary eventually scored 4 straight to get their first lead, 4-3, and then now, just moments ago, Laura McIntosh on the power play gets Brampton all tied up. 4-4 the score here in the third period. Does this feel like a 7-game playoff series?
This feels like one of the more intense hockey atmospheres I've experienced between two teams.
Off the draw, Calgary with puck possession. Burchard gives it away to her numerical counterpart, Haley Cudmore, who drew an assist on the goal by Lequette. Again, it was Lequette, the penalized player, when Brampton get their tying goal. But now Lequette tees it up. Oh, a rolling puck that, well, she couldn't quite get on goal, but she had some mustard on that one. Rattray, she's turned off the puck by 26. Turnbull centered in front, at least the initial attempt. And Darren, we should also mention with that goal from Brampton, it's the first one that Jess Desjardins has given up since coming, or Kathy Desjardins has given up since coming into this game.
And as mentioned, she's been solid. Before that goal, she was my first star of this game, which is just unbelievable considering she came in relief and she looked shaky when she first got in the goal, and she has just been fantastic so far. Tough one for her there.
And no question about it, Calgary has been a different team playing in front of Desjardins this afternoon as opposed to the opening 15 minutes or so where they were playing with Brian between the pipes.
Well, I asked you the question early in the second period, who starts on Friday?
Well,
I think our answers might be...
It's not so clear, that's for certain anymore. Crom brings the puck in here, bouncing one, big rebound, but it's knocked away, and Crom can't find it. It was in her skates, but now it's out through the neutral zone. McIntosh nearly creates a turnover, but it's Brianne Jenner with the puck now for the Inferno. Across center ice, Jenner brings it in, stick handles her way into the zone, takes the shot, but that one deflected up high and wide. Squirts out to center, where first on it was Johnston for the Inferno. Now get some fresh legs out there as we approach the midway mark of this third period. Brampton dump it in. King forward checking with Montgomery, and it's Montgomery who comes up with it. She's pinned up by the free arm of Davis, and now it's far side boards where Fortino battles away against Esposito. Fortino has that puck hop over her stick, and now Burchard will have to retrieve it from her own zone. Checked closely by Campbell. Over to Fortino. Fortino under pressure from Espo, but she gets it to King. King with some options. She'll choose to dump it in, and giving chase is Montgomery. Montgomery peels off for a line change in Brampton. Tyler Fines puts out his top unit as Vint creates a turnover, cuts to the backhand, and Desjardins holds her ground, but once again, the ever-dangerous Rebecca Vint creating scoring chances for the Thunder.
And that's the third or fourth time this afternoon that Desjardins has stoned Vint. And we saw that play where she had that rush earlier in the game, earlier in the period, with a nice glove save from Desjardins, and another nice one there in the butterfly, staying in front of the puck. And I mean, Vin's got to be a little bit frustrated because she's had a number of good scoring opportunities, only to be held to just the one goal.
Puck at the point, and he centers it. Oh, what a save from Desjardins! Jess Jones in an area where we've seen her put so many past, well, sprawling goaltenders. That time the goalie gets the better of Jones, and Desjardins keeps this one tied at 4.
And how many Brampton players are we going to see look up to the sky after they get absolutely robbed here, as Jones does it again there?
Edney at the point, feeds that one through, goes wide. Oh, Rattray just fanned on that one as Vint got it towards her stick, but now LaRocque will dump it back in. Desjardins out of her net, leaves it for Pieri. Over to Mickelson. She makes the take-to-take pass to Wickenheiser, feeds it over to Turnbull. Turnbull tries to gain the zone, poked away from her, and now here comes Brampton, just out of the reach of Rattray, and Wickenheiser gets tied up by LaRocque. Turnbull goes far side over to Lequette, over to Wick. Wick gets her way around Edney. Wickenheiser trying to get something going right now, but she's ridden off the puck. Sharp angle attempt, never made it on net. Cudmore far side to Lequette. She'll feed that one into the skates of Jenner. She never got it cleanly. And Brampton cleared out to center ice. 12-12 left in the third period. Jenner feeds it into the middle where Jill Saulnier was unable to corral that one. Kept in by Cudmore. She plays it over to Johnston. Johnston to Cudmore. There's a shot. Big rebound, and they score! The pressure relentless. Calgary tap it home, and they make it 5-4 with 11:57 left in the third period.
And Megan Mickelson with her first point of the season, putting that one into the back of the net, and it could not have come at a bigger time.
I think Rebecca Johnston making sure that the officials give the goal to Mickelson. We'll get another look at the replay. Mickelson, yeah, it even looks like on the second effort, that's going to make little Calder smile, no question about it. And I got to think that'll put a smile on the face of Scott Reed as well. This team regains the lead 5-4 with 11:55 remaining in the third period. It's the first point and first goal of the season for Megan Mickelson, but boy, is it ever a big one. Calgary out in front for the time being. Johnston with the puck now for the Inferno. Across the blue line. Lets that shot go. Flies wide of the cage. Jenner plays it down low. Saulnier able to corral it. It is Mickelson who gets the goal. Jenner and Johnston with the assists as Campbell brings it into the zone. Turned over, and here comes Rattray. Rattray, 1-on-2, room to skate. Rubbed off the puck, and Jones unable to get there to support her in time. Larocque stood up at center ice, and here comes Campbell with it for the Inferno. Takes it down low, puts it towards the net, but drives it wide. 9 goals in this game. Well, these teams are certainly used to some high-scoring games. Still 10:45 remaining in the third period. Delayed offside against Calgary, so that'll give Larocque time to skate this one out. Makes the cross ice pass. Nice job by Jones to hold it in the zone. Actually, in play, the puck was going towards the penalty box, but she was able to get a glove on it, and even though Burchard blows the tire, no icing here, the call, so play continues on.
Now on that Calgary goal, Johnson now with 2 goals and an assist, 3 assists for Brianne Jenner on the game.
Jenner's such a versatile player. She can score, she can set you up. Desjardins makes another good save, that time off the stick of Courtney Burchard. And certainly no love lost between these two teams. Cooler heads prevail in that scrum in front of the goal, but we'll get another look at this go-ahead goal for the Inferno.
And good tenacity in front of the goal there by Mickelson to find the puck on the second chance opportunity and pot it in the back of the goal.
Yeah, great read by Mickelson to pinch in from the point, creep in down low, do it in a way in which McParland never actually saw her creeping in behind her, and by the time she does, she's unable to catch up and get a stick on the shot. It's an important goal for Calgary. They take a 5-4 lead. Brampton wanted a penalty call there. I think they had some legitimate beef. Fortino was being held up by the free arm of the Calgary forechecker. No call, nothing doing. Play continues on. 9:35 left in the third. Turnbull crashing the net like a bull, but that time she can't get the shot through. And Brampton clear the pressure. Wickenheiser with the puck now for Calgary. Gains the red line, dumps it in, and peels off for a change. Howe out of her net. Good heads-up play. Gets it to Burchard, who feeds it near side to Rattray. Bit of a bouncing puck that Rattray couldn't quite corral. Just Jones unable to get to that one. Here comes Jenner for Calgary. She'll give it away to Edney. Near side to Larocque. Under 9 minutes now remaining in the third period. Just offside. Just Jones a step ahead of the puck. That'll put an end to that Brampton breakout. Zone face-off. Calgary have possession as Cudmore banks it off the boards and into the Thunder zone, but that's a bit of a lazy play. She was on the wrong side of the red line, so that's an icing against Calgary.
And that can lead to bad things if you're the Inferno, right? An offensive zone face-off can go absolutely anywhere. Not something you want to be doing, lazily icing the puck, especially in a game this important, this late in the game. with a 1-goal lead.
Saulnier with the puck now for Calgary, tries to bank it off the boards and out. It's held in and redirected on goal. Desjardins, good job to have the paddle down. Centered in front. Nothing due in general, just ice this one down. Oh, no icing here. I don't know how Calgary catches that break, but they do. Play continues on. Under 8.5 now, left in the third period. Jones. You can even hear a couple of the Brampton players on the bench below us. How is that not an icing call? But, well, good play by Warren to create a turnover and nearly create an offensive zone chance. Back to the point. Mickelson, her shot attempt blocked. Still in front, Fortino comes up with it. Laura Fortino makes the pass to Becca King. She'll chip that one forward and inside the Calgary zone. The Inferno didn't lead until the third period. They didn't lead at any point in this game until a minute 52 into the third period. They've now led twice here in this third period. And the pressure's on Brampton to try find a way back and secure home ice down the playoffs. Burchard dipsy doodles her way through the neutral zone, getting around Wickenheiser, but she's finally stripped of the puck as she quickly gets it back. You know, certainly a ton of credit is due to both GMs, but I really got to give it up to Rory Dupuis in particular. The way she's built this Brampton team over the past 3-4 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons really, when you look at some of their draft picks, the players they've brought in, the trades they've made. She's really built a cup contender this year, and they're playing for their home ice lives right now. Calgary dispossess Brampton of the puck. Kron tries to feed a shot in on goal. That's certainly taking nothing away from Chantal Champagne and the job she's done with the Calgary Inferno. Just two different teams built a little bit differently, but they match up so well against each other. It's really going to be an entertaining playoff series, best of 3 series between these two teams in a week from now. The question is, where will those games be played? We're about to find out. Is that shot wide of the goal? 6:24 remaining in the third period. Edney back on the puck now for Brampton. Endures a bit of a hack from Davis, but skates it across center ice and will dump it in. With the purple streak, the ponytail on her side, Edney and Brampton continue to dig away here. She's got the puck. She lets the shot go, and Edney puts it just wide of the net. Fortino holds it in at the far side. Vint makes the pass, near side to Jones, corrals the bouncing puck, jams home, but Desjardins makes 2 quality saves. Burchard down low to Fortino. Fortino back out top to Burchard. Her shot blocked by Laquette. And Calgary under pressure just cleared out now. Warren got away with a bit of a hack on Burchard. Play continues on. Fortino spins away from the ensuing forecheck of Wickenheiser. Great character from both teams shown in this one. Back and forth battle really speaks to the depth that both of these teams have and just the mental fortitude that they both compose themselves with. The lead changes, the ups and downs, it's been quite the game, and I don't think you can get much better bang for your buck in terms of value on CWHLlive.com. This is definitely one of the best games we've had all season, with the stakes being as high as they are as well. LaRock corrals the puck inside the final 5 minutes of the third period in a 5-4 game in which the Calgary Inferno have a tenuous lead over the Brampton Thunder. Laquette backhands that one off the boards and out. Edney under pressure gives it away to Saulnier. Saulnier across the blue line, feeds it far side, actually couldn't quite get it across. They still have it. Now in front, Johnston fans on it. Bookmark that one. If Brampton get a chance back the other way, as Rattray creates one, but right into the logo, the Inferno logo, so a relatively easy save for Desjardins, but with 4:20 left in the third, Darren, it's gut check time for the
Oh, big time is it ever. Gut check time for the Thunder. Just 4:20 to go. They're down by 1. They need to get another goal past Desjardins, who has been solid as a rock this afternoon. They're in tough here. Time is running out on them, but as we've mentioned, between these two teams, nothing is over until the clock says 0.
Fortino scoops up the puck off the draw, centered attempt in front, but Lequette got down to block it, and then she gets in the way of a howitzer off the stick of Vint. Well, that one definitely smirked. Lequette, she's real tough, so she'll stay out there, but that one's going to leave a mark. Vint really teed it up from the point. Rattray gets it past Cudmore and into the zone. Rattray and Davis battle along the near boards. In the corner, Vint in there as well to help out. 3:45 left. They make it now 3:44 on the clock, and they'll whistle that one down for the face-off. We'll keep an eye on the Brampton Thunder as they discuss when to use their timeout and when to maybe get Erica Howe out of the net. Play continues on though. Inside the final 4 minutes of regulation in this CWHL live game between the Brampton Thunder and the Calgary Inferno. Fortino on the puck for Brampton. Backhands it to King. Under pressure, Pieri holds the zone. Good job by Pieri, but well, they're going to vacate anyways, and it will give Fortino a chance to get it over to her teammate in Brampton, even though they had some clear opportunity to clear the zone. Burchard and company unable to do so.
I think the puck went off the official down low and bounced in the middle of the ice.
Saulnier on it for Calgary, puts that one on goal, big rebound. Howe coming up with two good saves. Where is it? Just skips past the near side post. Howe throwing the blocker out. Johnston on it now for Calgary. Centers in front. Oh, what a save from Howe. Bookmark that. 2:45 left in the third, and Howe making a huge save to keep her team in this one, down by just one goal. They're looking a little tired, and Calgary are flying right now. Can Brampton find a way back after giving up the lead here in the third period? Calgary battling back. It's been all just an excellent game in every aspect. McIntosh scoops up this puck, cuts towards the middle, has it knocked off her stick, but Larocque holds the line, gets it to McIntosh, centers in front. 2:10 now left in the third period. That puck up and out of play. I think they're signaling it'll stay inside the face-off, inside the zone, but well, maybe not. They're going to bring this one just outside the Calgary blue line. With 2:07 left in the third period, Erica Howe skates to the bench. Oh, no, she doesn't. She's going to stay out there for now. Interesting that Calgary opts not to use their timeout either. Off the draw, Brampton opted not to use the timeout. Off the draw, Calgary has it. They dump it in deep, and Larocque will pick it up with under 2 minutes remaining in the third period. Home ice advantage in the playoffs on the line. Calgary with a 5-4 lead over the Brampton Thunder, and it's Blaine Turnbull taking the shot. That one's turned away by Howe. She's still got it, centers it in front, and Wickenheiser unable to tap it past the sprawling Erica Howe. Larocque comes up with the puck here for Brampton. She's chased by Turnbull. They want Howe to get to the bench now. She hasn't moved yet. Buck 25 left in the third period. Calgary clear it down. Fortino picks it up. Makes the pass to Vint. Vint right to Jones. Jones near side to Burchard. Now Howe heads to the bench. There's a shot right on. Turned away by Desjardins. Cudmore, her backhander attempt. Bouncing off the glass, but held in at the line. Great play by Fortino. Fortino fans on the shot. Final 60 seconds of regulation here. Vint's hauled down by Lequette. Scrum for the puck in the far corner. And it's Brampton who had it momentarily. Saulnier pokes it out of the zone. Johnston lifts the stick. Burchard, she's got to race back. It goes wide of the net. Fortino will scoop it up. 40 seconds left here in the third period. Seedhouse makes the pass to Rattray. Rattray dumps it in. 30 seconds left in the third period. Calgary iced this one down the length of the rink, and with just 26.4 seconds left, you got to think that now Tyler Fines will take the timeout.
Yeah, it's time to take that timeout here. No reason not to. You've really got to try to set something up here. You're running really low on time, and Brampton hasn't been able to really get much of anything going over the past couple minutes here. It's been Calgary controlling the play still.
They're not taking the timeout. Interesting decision. Centered in front for Rattray, but that one's smacked away and then hops over for Tino Saulnier. Corrals that one, backhands it desperately towards the open net. It goes wide, but this might just be a matter of time. Now 10 seconds left here for Fortino and the Brampton Thunder. They get it to the blue line, but no further. The Calgary Inferno will do it despite a great effort. One last shot from Jamie Lee Rattray, but on the back of Kathy Desjardins, an incredible effort from the Calgary Inferno. Despite being down 3-0 in the first period, Calgary fight back and secure home ice advantage in the playoffs. And these two teams will resume the battle next week, Friday, Saturday, and potentially Sunday from the Winsport Complex in Calgary.
I give tons of credit to the Inferno for battling back in this game, picking up a victory in an arena they hadn't won in yet this year, and coming back from that 3-goal deficit so early in the first period when they looked so out of it. All the credit in the world goes to Scott Reed and the Calgary Inferno. What a game they played here today.
Truly incredible effort and almost unbelievable results. Talk about entertaining hockey. The best of the best in the CWHL showcasing their talents here this afternoon from Brampton. And they'll resume the battle next week in Calgary. And home ice secured for the Inferno, at least in their first round playoff matchup against the Brampton Thunder. Unbelievable game, unbelievable season from both teams. A lot of deserving candidates for 3 stars of this one as well.
It's got to be Kathy Desjardins for me. So. What an unbelievable performance from her, coming in with 5 minutes left in the first period and giving up the 1 goal on was a tough play, but making maybe even up to 10 unbelievably spectacular saves in securing this victory for the Inferno.
She gets a tap on the back from head coach Scott Reed, certainly appreciative of her effort, and looking back on it, brilliant decision by Scott Reed, maybe an obvious and one he had to make, but nonetheless a decision that worked out in favor of his team. They come back to win this one 5-4 on the effort of Kathy Desjardins and the rest of the players in front of her.
And they look so much better in front of her than they did in front of Brian today.
Well, and this is a tough loss for Brampton to swallow because you know this is on your mind going into that playoff matchup. The best of 3, but really the way this weekend series was, it was a best of 5 series that we're going to keep calling a best of 7 just for the purpose of drama, but it's certainly quite a tense battle between these two teams today. Third star of the game, well deserving and really incredible individual performance the last half of the season. Rebecca Vint extends her personal point streak to 11 games with a goal in this one, but in the end, Brampton, not quite enough. They fall 5-4. Fortino, second star this one. She had a great game as well for Brampton, but again,
it seems as though they're honoring their players for their season that they've had, as this will be the last game here.
Hard done by is Kathy Desjardins, and Jess Campbell gives her a tap on the pads for appreciating her effort, but I guess not a bad choice. Rebecca Johnson, the first star of the game, she got the first 2 goals for Calgary to get them back into this one, and she adds another assist on the eventual game winner, so Johnson certainly instrumental in the comeback for Calgary. Well, it was an entertaining game and a very exciting season. And unfortunately, Darren, for you and I, ultimately this win for Calgary means this is our final broadcast of the year.
We're done, that's it.
I want to say, it's been a pleasure working with you, even though I missed a bunch of games because of other commitments. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on the crew.
And it's been a ton of fun working with you as well and doing this for the first year, and I've really enjoyed myself, and I've been made a fan of the CWHL, that's for sure.
our fantastic technical. Actually, I still have to do this one more time this season. Where am I going? The CWHL and CWHL Live would like to thank Canada's Dairy Farmers Fueling Women's Champions program for their valuable support in presenting CWHL streaming in 2015-2016. We'd also like to thank league sponsors Scotiabank, Sportsnet, Winsport Bauer, Tim Hortons, who presented the 3 stars of the game this evening, Tim Hortons, Toyota, Molson Coors, the Golden Mail, Bridgeforce, Porter, Gong Show, OMGs, the Calgary Flames, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Montreal Canadiens for their invaluable support of the Canadian Women's Hockey League. For our fantastic technical crew led by Steve Mitchell, for Darren Alley, I'm Nico Cardarelli. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on CWHLLive.com.